Hi besties, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we're gonna be making puff puff. Yeah, very tasty, yummy, sumptuous puff puff. So we're gonna be using a couple of ingredients. I'm gonna be using the common ones, but I'm going to be introducing a very few non-common ingredients to this recipe. We're gonna be using all this is, as you can see on your screen, and the regular ones are included, and then I introduced not so regular ingredients for your puff. We're going to be using our flour. The exact measurement I used for this recipe is going to be attached to our description button, so do well to click on the description and you see the exact measurements as it was used for this. We're going to be using our yeast. I'm going to be using that was our nutmeg and sugar, and then this is our yeast, and also we're going to be using our salt. So these are the regular ones, and I introduced the butter into it. This is not very common. Okay, so then I introduced the use of onions and pepper. Some other bakers use it, but not very common because not everyone like onion in their food, and pepper you get. So we're going to get a bigger bowl and go in with our flour. Then you go in with all dry ingredients one after the other in no particular order. I went with my sugar, my milk, my powder milk, and my salt. Then added my nutmeg. Like I said, no particular order. You can add your powder ingredients as you want. Then that is my yeast. You can actually decide to proof your yeast by mixing it with warm water first, but I use very active dry yeast, so I didn't need to do that. So I mixed all dry ingredients together. Then after mixing together and ensure that they are well combined together, I ensure that everything was well combined, properly combined together before going with my next ingredient. So besties, do well to combine everything properly together. Then I went in with my onion and my pepper. Like I said earlier, you can decide to skip this, but trust me, adding this to it gives it a distinct and unique taste when you bite into one. So I added my onion and my pepper, and I also combined properly. I ensure that everything is well combined, well mixed together. I did that for a couple of seconds, and then to ensure that all mixtures are properly combined together before you go into a non-powder ingredient. So yeah, I'm going in with my butter. I'm using a very little amount for this recipe. You don't need so much butter in your puff puff. In fact, some recipes will tell you to not add, but for me, I've used this for a couple of times and I really like the taste when I'm done frying my puff puff. So yeah, I always use my butter in it, and I use very little amount. It depends on the quantity I'm making. So you rub in properly, you ensure that everything is fully combined into your mixture. There are no crumbs left. Everything is combined properly until you are almost not able to even notice the butter anymore. Do that for a few minutes until you're done mixing properly. Use your fingertip to ensure that everything properly combines together. So yeah, besties, after mixing all together, you can now create a hole or just make a space in between. Then you go in with your warm water. Now this is where you also go in with your yeast if you mix with water first. So because I already added my yeast, I just added just the warm water without anything in it. So bestie, this is the point where you ensure to combine everything in it properly, and also be guided enough to not use too much water, because the consistency of your mixture actually determines your end result. So ensure to use very little amount of water when mixing. If you're not sure, just use them little by little. Probably take 1 cup warm water first, turning half. Then when you've not gotten the desired consistency you want, you can keep turning it little by little, because if you decide to go in so much, then you might not like the end result, and it will be difficult for you to even turn into your oil when it's time for you to fry. So guys, if you don't take out anything from this, one thing you should take out is to ensure to not use too much or too little water. Your water has to be perfect enough for your puff puff to turn out very well. So even if you use the best of ingredients, you use the best of milk, you use the best of yeast, but your water is too much, then you definitely will not get a desired result. So yeah, I'd washed my hands and decided to go in using my hands for this. So you can see the way I'm doing it. I'm not just mixing with my hands, I'm also mixing and beating at the same time. Like I'm beating the dough to combine properly. Okay, I've seen a couple of videos where you don't need to beat your dough, but I think I learned this years ago and it's sticking with me already. It's difficult for me to just make my puff puff and not beat it. I don't know why I beat it though, but I think it has worked for me for a couple of years back and still working for me. So you can decide to beat your dough for probably for 3 minutes or 4 minutes, it depends. I just like to beat my dough so I can get my stretchy feeling on time. So I beat that for a few minutes. Then when it's a bit stretchy, like runny, then you know your dough is ready for you to allow it to puff up or to rise, like probably times 2 its initial size or initial quantity. So yeah, I'm done mixing. Now it's time for me to cover it. You can cover with you can cover your bowl with cling film or anything readily available for you to use to cover your bowl. If you don't have your cling film readily available, you can use anything else you can lay your hands on. It's fine, as far as you cover it and you keep in a not so cold environment, then you're good to go. Now allow to rest for a few minutes, and voila, our dough is ready. You can see, if you can notice it, the size before and then the size now, it's actually increased in size, like times 2 of the initial size. So you are ready to fry our puff puff. We are using a not so hot oil. Ensure that your oil is not so hot because you need to do what they call deep frying. Okay, so yeah, at this point I think I was almost done frying before I remembered to actually take a video of putting it into the oil. So you just do it the way I do. You put it up in your hands a bit and then drop it into the oil. I know this process is not going to be easy, but trust me, with constant practices you're going to get it right. And then I can see there are lots of tools now readily available for you to put in your dough. You can use your bags, you can use this equipment that are sold now, like something like you can use to pipe your dough into your oil. Find anyone that works for you. You are good to go as far as you get your puff puff at the end of the day. So yeah, I did this till I was done with everything I had in my bowl. You can see our puff puff coming out so nice. Some people like their puff puff very, very brown. It depends on your choice. Yeah, so we do this till you're done frying everything. As you can see, our puff puff is coming out so fine and nice and cute. Probably need to use the word cute at this point because I don't know what else to say. And then to add to that, I would say puff puff is one thing I really love to do. I can just like decide, okay, I want to eat puff puff in the next 1 hour and then go there mixing my flour, because I always have flour readily available at home. So the puff is something that I just decide to just do. I don't plan for it. I just go to the kitchen, make my puff puff and everything, and then we're good to go. So see now, look at our puff puff, because at this point I think we should ask this puff puff for his skincare routine, because how can okay, so yeah, this is our puff puff, me showing you the inside how it looks. It looks just as it tastes. Like, it tastes so good. Guys, will you be trying this out? Let me know if you'll be trying it out and how it went for you. See you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and also leave a comment in the comment section. Bye guys, thank you.